We're kind of talking about this on our Facebook page this morning. I'm going to send it over to the crew on the couch to learn a little bit more about what you guys think at home.
Well, I think anytime you pick up a piece of clothing, it's going to be imported for the most part. I mean, most clothing is.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is American Apparel that makes everything here in the U.S. And the thing is, we can't find people to fill those jobs to manufacture their clothing because people don't want to work for that cheap. And on the flip side, we don't want to spend as much money as it would take to make it here.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting. I was at a Tigers game a few weeks ago, and I was wearing a Yankees cap made by New Era, and a local auto worker came up to me and asked me if the cap was made in America. And he had the same exact Yankees cap made by New Era that was made in America, and mine was made in China.
Oh.
So it is interesting to kind of see the, you know, and obviously he was biased because he is a, you know, a union auto worker guy that wants to kind of see the job stay here. But it was an interesting little tidbit. But we're talking about it on our Facebook page this morning, and we do have some interesting comments. Actually, what Janet said about American Apparel is interesting because American Apparel actually made a statement about this, and they said that they factor more than 50 million of their garments a year, and it isn't all for their stores, and a huge part of the company is a private label, but also all of their stuff is made here. And they also said that they could start working on uniforms today and have them in London within 7 days. So interesting little tidbit, but that's on our website. Meanwhile, on our Facebook page, we are getting some interesting back and forth. Check out Cyprian, his comment at the top. They should have American-made clothes on American players. That's the problem with this country. Outsource too much work that is much needed in America. Then a couple of comments down. Ken, why is everything being shipped overseas? Anything American-made is very expensive to make because of the labor costs, and Americans always forget that our country was made by immigrants. So interesting comments, and it's always good when we get the back and forth on our Facebook page. And of course, you can chime in this morning, facebook.com/NBC25. But certainly an interesting topic, and we've talked about this before too.
Ralph Lauren is actually collecting money on their Facebook page, right?
Yeah, there is a Facebook page. It's called Rally with Macy's in conjunction. And also on Twitter, if you hashtag a message to Team USA, he is also donating $1 for each message, up to 25,000.
What has happened?
I think it was a little bit of media control. He's really turned to social media to kind of clear things up a little bit, and he did release a statement stating that he would make sure that he made amends with that with 2014.
Wonderful. They did make an announcement before we head over to Jared and the gang. Uniforms worn by U.S. athletes during future opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympic Games will in fact be manufactured now by the United States in the United States. That's starting at the end 2014, as you said.
Exactly.
But we're talking about this on our Facebook page. Let's head over to the couch.
Well, yeah, sometimes they say for competitive reasons they have to manufacture them overseas, but these items are not inexpensive. You'd think that there'd be enough profit in there to do it in the United States, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not from here, and I kind of, when I came here, I kind of got the sense that there is a very strong sense of American-made products here in Michigan. I know with cars, people prefer Ford and Chevys compared to the the Hondas and the Toyotas. Again, I'm an East Coast guy, so it's more of an I'm from Philadelphia, New York, so it's more international cities there, so it's not as important, so to say, because there's a lot of immigrants living in those cities, but it is certainly interesting.
Yeah, I mean, until we can actually take those jobs, I think many Americans won't take those jobs to manufacture the clothing, and then it makes them more expensive. We talked about this with American Apparel, you know. Their clothing, I actually like their clothing, but it is everything's kind of about the same price for a t-shirt as it is a dress, which I think is cool in a way, but it can be a bit pricey even for a t-shirt.
Anyways, Facebook, I'm not surprised that our Michigan Facebook fans are chiming off on this morning. And surprisingly, though, there is a lot of back and forth about this issue. Let's get to Kyle. This is kind of a funny comment. I could care less what they wear. As long as you're not naked in the Olympics, I'm fine with it. Making it in America will probably be more expensive. I would rather have cheap clothes. And then Tina, right there at the bottom, I don't know why it matters. We send our jobs to China and import a lot of goods from them. So why not the uniforms? And then Jeannie, kind of counterpoint to that. It's embarrassing to have our Olympians in uniforms made in China. Team USA should be wearing uniforms made in the U.S. Ralph Lauren should not have to be told that. So, we're getting back and forth, and you've got a good talker when you do get the back and forth comments on the Facebook page, and you have, viewers kind of chiming off on each other instead of sounding off on us for once, right?
I'm guessing this controversy won't hurt sales for Ralph Lauren.
Probably not.
It'll get people talking about it, and the next thing you know, they're going to Macy's and buying one of those shirts.
And again, the new deal, it doesn't apply to the athletic uniforms worn by the athletes because the Senate aide said that several athletes may opt to use specific uniforms and products not manufactured to compete effectively in their sport, but then at a minimum, the opening ceremonies and all that, for when you walk behind the flag, that'll go in that way. And again, thank you for your opinion, for your research at Style Midwest. You're not representing Ralph Lauren this morning,
not at all.
But in your own research that you've done with your fashion.
Yes, definitely. You're welcome.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Lisa.